What's wrong with you?
Damn. It's really important for us to like have discussions about what is it to be masculine, what is it to be feminine, and like how can we be versions of those things that like we can teach our children so that they don't get stuck in situations where they're being abused for 6 years.
I didn't sign an NDA when I went to the house, so I can talk about this, whatever. I came out of a 6-year very like toxic relationship that was just not good for either of us. I basically got waterboarded. I was pinned down on the bed and he took a bunch of water and like poured it on my face. I would never date somebody that I only knew for a few weeks or a month. He turns back at me and he's like, no, they're lying to you. Like, you don't look good. You're f***ing up these shots. Like, you need to redo this. Like, we're running out of time.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to.
Yes?
Go in, Mo. Go in.
Jesus
What's
Christ.
on your mind?
One of my irrational fears is like if I'm talking to two guys at the same time and then I end up pregnant and I don't know who the dad is. Why it's so hard for men to communicate what they want from a woman.
Welcome to Unattainable. Glad to have you with us and hope you continue to be a part of our family for the foreseeable future. And if so, please hit that subscribe button. I am Mohammed Malay here with my incredible co-host, Zach Evans, and our newest guest of today, Madi and Pearl. Welcome. How's it going?
Hello.
Please introduce yourselves, where you're from, what you do, how old you are, so on and so forth. Madi, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm Madi Honey. I'm currently a luxury bridal stylist. I'm also a videographer. I've previously worked in Twitch production and also was a streamer. So that's my background. And I'm originally from Texas and have just about reached my first year in LA.
And how old you are?
25.
25. Very nice. Pearl.
Your real name's Maddie Honey?
No.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, that was rude. What I meant to say is that's a cute name. I like it, Maddie Honey. I'm Pearl Bots. What was it? From San Diego, 31. I'm a singer-songwriter and content creator. Yeah, is that it?
Yeah, 31. Jesus, that's crazy. I would have thought you were like 21, 22.
Yeah, it's
Some
the
same
Asian gene.
stuff. Yeah. What
Skincare.
Asian are you?
I'm half Korean, half white.
Interesting. You were born in San Diego?
Yeah, Southern California.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And then when did you move to LA?
6 years ago.
Okay. Relationship status.
Very single.
Very single.
Very.
I feel like you've been very single.
Yeah, it's rough out here.
Uh-huh.
Dating in LA is rough.
Yeah.
Real rough.
Yeah. Pearl, what is yours?
Single.
Not very.
No, just single. Normal amount of single.
No. Okay, what is the reason?
For being single?
Yeah.
What length of answer do you want?
Just, hey, we've got an hour,
I feel
so
like I would have the same reaction, honestly.
fucking go crazy.
I'm single because, I mean, to be honest, if I wanted to not be single, I could just go get a boyfriend. You know what I'm saying?
Precisely the point of the question.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, if just having a boyfriend is so accessible, it kind of gets boring. You know what I mean? Like, it's the scarcity effect. If you can get it so easily, then it's kind of uninteresting, you know? So yeah, I think the kind of relationship that I want next is like serious, committed, like lifelong partner status, same values, going the same direction, aligned mission, aligned purpose, like ready, available, wanting to be with me, the kind of man that I want to be with. And that's not an easy thing to find. So yeah.
I would say that is very easy to find.
Oh, it is?
I would say that is. But
okay.
see, this is the criteria that you didn't speak about, which is you have more requirements than that, right? Like, what is the specific type of man that would be looking for, assuming he is ready and willing to be in a relationship and ready to go? Like,
basically, what are my values?
Yeah.
Essentially. I mean, I have a lot of values. Like, I think we need to I think it needs to be an intellectual match. Like, you have to be intellectually compatible for me. Like, I think that that's a really important thing. I think obviously you need to be physically attracted to that person. You need to be emotionally compatible as well, which is different than intellectual compatibility. Yeah, and I want to think at least similarly to that person in all of those things.
So most of the men that you come across, you're having the issue of not being compatible in those areas with.
Yeah, basically. Or they are definitely that person, but they're just not ready. They're not available yet, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll come back to you. I have some thoughts,
Okay.
but I'll come back to it.
Sure.
What's wrong with you?
Damn.
What's wrong with you, Maddie?
I think I'm in a very similar situation. I think it's like not that I can't have someone if I don't want, like I could have somebody meet those bare minimum standards if I wanted, but I came out of a 6-year very like toxic relationship that was just not good for either of us and caused me like to do a lot of self-reflection. I had some trauma because of it and like some PTSD and stuff. So there's things that I personally need to work through before I can give myself to someone, as well as I would need to find somebody that's understanding of those things, either somebody that's been through it before or is just very empathetic of those things. I think that's not necessarily a quality that everyone has, and so finding somebody that understands that I feel comfortable to like open up about those things and be myself with is what I would be looking for.
Are you able to talk about those things?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've gone through them, so I feel like it would be helpful to share those things so that I could help somebody else that's maybe going through those things.
Yeah, go for it.
So you want me to just like talk about the relationship?
Yeah, how it was, what was the trauma about, how it happened?
Yeah.
What did you go through?
So basically I was in a relationship for 6 years. It started off like very abruptly. Like we weren't really friends before. We knew each other for about a month. It instantly started dating. We were together for about a year. It was really good that first year. And then once we hit our anniversary, things kind of fell off. I won't open up about like a particular situation, but there was a situation that I decided it would be good for us to get married. And we ended up getting married, and I thought that would bring us closer. And I don't know, something flipped in him and he became a different person. I don't know if it was like insecurity or something happening outside that I was unaware of that he had gone through. But just became very controlling, and it became to the point where I didn't even talk to friends that I had been friends with for like 10 years. I barely talked to my family. I didn't tell them that we got married. My sister-in-law actually broke the news before I did. But the relationship went on. Things just kind of like increased. I kept kind of like fighting back and being like, hey, I don't like that you do this. And it would always be flipped back around on me. And then things started escalating to becoming physical. And one of the last things that happened on more than one occasion right before I left was I basically got waterboarded. I was pinned down on the bed, and he took a bunch of water and like poured it on my face and basically told me that I was like that I had mental health issues, and that basically if I didn't admit to those things and that I was in the wrong and that nothing was his fault, that he would send me to a mental institution like against my will. So at that point I arranged for one of my friends to show up at the house with her boyfriend, and obviously having people there wasn't any way that he could be physical without somebody like calling the cops. So he was very scared of that. So I packed up all my clothes and my PC setup, and that was all that I took. I left all of my like furniture and everything that I had worked for behind. I had paid for everything for the past at least like 3 years of the relationship. At that point I was completely independent. I had gone from working like basically 3 jobs at the same time. I was working like a 9 to 5 through the week, and then I had a weekend job, and then I would come home and stream at night. So the income was entirely me. Everything that I provided for in that house I couldn't take with me when I left. So that's some things I've gone through.
Very sorry.
No, it's okay.
You had to go through all that. At what point? So, at what point of the 6th year did you guys get married?
We were, I think, about 1.5 years in.
Mm-hmm. So, okay. So 4.5 years of it was like this, or okay.
Yeah.
So right after when you got married,
Yeah.
and at what point did you think to yourself that you need to get the fuck out of this, but then you didn't?
So probably like, I would say the last 2 years of the relationship. So like 4 years in, I was like, maybe I can make this work. Like, he wanted to be a producer, and I was like, what do you need? How can I make this work? Like, that's when I let him quit his job, and I was like, I'll take care of everything financially. And he said he would make some income at some point, so I tried supporting him. But I don't know. Sorry, I lost track. Could you repeat the question?
Right.
This is hard to talk about
It
sometimes.
seems like you started to realize that there are red flags that are popping up, right?
Yes. At what point did I leave, or like decide to leave? Was the question, right?
What point did you recognize that you should leave, but then you didn't?
Yeah. So it got to a point where I realized there wasn't really any effort like coming back, no matter like what I was doing. And so that was kind of like at the 4-year point. So it was like, at that point, I still hadn't left for 2 years, but it was trying to figure out a way to leave, because every time I would try to have a conversation, he would fight back. And then if I got physical and like literally like grabbed my stuff and tried to leave, he would block the door, hold me down. And then that's when like he got comfortable doing that. And then it escalated to the other situation that I mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it had gotten physical multiple times prior to that event.
Yes.
And then where was your family in all this?
I was living in an apartment with him. So my parents were probably like 15, 20 minutes away, and I wasn't really talking to them at the time. I'm still trying to like rebuild that relationship with them.
Mm-hmm. Did they warn you that you shouldn't be with this person?
Yes, but I mean, I met him when I was 18. We got married when I had just turned 20. Like, I was really young. So at that point, I also didn't have like the best relationship with my mom growing up. Like, we kind of like butt heads a lot. So I always thought she was still doing that. Like, I didn't think that she was genuinely looking out for me and like seeing these concerns. I thought she would just like wanted something else for me.
So looking back to your dating stage,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say were signs that you had missed?
Definitely how quickly it happened. Like, looking back now, I would never date somebody that I only knew for a few weeks or a month. Like, I feel like you can't get to know anybody within that span of time. Also, like, the controlling aspect. So, like, wanting me to be certain places at certain times, or like wanting me to call in from work so that I could stay over at his house a little bit later. Or
that
like,
was happening during the time you were dating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just little things like that I thought like, oh, he's being cute. Like, he wants to spend more time with me because I was young and I was unaware. Now looking back at those things, like, those were things that I should have noticed, because he was also older than me too. So he probably was more aware of those things than I was.
How much older?
5 years.
Okay. Still in his early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you had to take one trait that would be the part where you would be responsible for of like the things that happen, right? Because this is the way I look at these situations is that this never really happens without somebody being receptive, majority of the time, being receptive to a certain level of toxicity.
Yeah.
Right? Like, for example, what you found cute towards him being controlling.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
And to a certain extent, that is, that's a sign that you're missing as a result of the fact that you're attracted to a type of person who is assertive, but in the wrong way.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And once you got married because it was the way that you described it was like your decision.
Yes.
So you get married. He all of a sudden realizes that, oh, okay, now I got her.
Yeah.
Right. So the true, whoever comes out.
Yeah, I feel like maybe that's what it was, because around that time is when I started to feel it be less romantic, less intimate, and started becoming more of like a roommate, kind of like he was my manager situation. But also like very protective, because I was like never going out. I was never seeing my friends. Like my friends didn't even come over. Like, yeah.
And so throughout that time, you just didn't think to yourself that like there was nobody in your life to say, hey, like you need to get the fuck out of this?
So that was the thing. It was to the point where he would check my phone, and like if I was talking to any of my friends about the relationship, he'd be like, why are you talking to somebody else about our problems? Like if you have like something to talk about, like talk about it with me. But obviously like I was going to somebody else because we weren't solving those issues. I mean, the one part I do blame myself, and the reason for the entirety of why this happened is because I was so unconfident in myself. If I had had the confidence to see my worth and see that I was better than being in this position, I would have left sooner.
Right.
But I thought it was the best situation for me to be in. I thought, this man loves me. He's going to take care of me. Like things are going to work out if I just like keep doing it. And I kept putting my all in every single time. And then just finally there was things towards the end, as I became like more into the influencer field. I started doing like modeling and stuff, and I remember one of the first times that it fully clicked that I wasn't getting all of the effort back was we were shooting in front of a mall, and I was trying to take reels like when reels first came out, and we're outside in front of this mall, and these girls drive by and they roll down the window and they're like, hey girl, like you look so good, like you look bomb. And so I get hyped up and I'm like, okay, like I look good. So I get like hyped up for like the next shot. And then he turns back at me and he's like, no, they're lying to you. Like you don't look good. You're fucking up these shots. Like you need to redo this. Like we're running out of time. And I was like, holy fuck. Like I have these random strangers that I don't even know their names hyping me up. And the person that tells me that he loves me is literally like my worst enemy. Like you're tearing me down when you should be helping me and hyping me up.
Right.
So it was little things like that that I started to notice. And as they continued, I was just like, this is too much. I got to go.
Right. Well, glad you're out of it.
Thank you.
And glad that you've recognized that the very first thing that you need to do is work on yourself and make sure that, I mean, every single thing that you said with regards to what your next relationship is going to look like. Right?
Yeah. I've done a lot of self-reflection because of it. I'm actually very thankful that it happened, even though it's fucked up and I don't wish it upon anybody else. It made me do so much self-reflecting and realize all of the things that I need to grow within myself before I even figure out what I want from somebody else.
Yes. Well, through pain, we could experience extensive amount of growth. So good stuff.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Pearl, I saw you nod a lot throughout her talking about her story.
Was I?
Yeah.
I think I was just listening like, that happened, yeah.
Is that because you relate, or is that because you have known people who have?
I mean, I know, I mean, it sounds like you were in like a very like classic abusive, like, relationship of all kinds, emotional, financial, physical abuse. And I know that like systems of abuse, like it can be easy to say, why didn't you just leave? Obviously it sounds so horrible, but when you're in the midst of it, there's so much manipulation going on. You were very young when you got into the situation. You're looking to this person to tell you what reality is like. They're shaping your reality because you're so young, and like probably picked you partly because of that. So it's not your fault that any of that happened to you. And it's the length that you were in it, like doesn't like you couldn't have gotten out any sooner than you did, being in the state that you were in, like, and having to notice all these things, just because I know abusers, they're very powerful, like, and the victims that they pick, they know that they can do that to them for an extended amount of time. So yeah, I'm sorry that that happened to you, and I'm sorry that it happens so much and that it's still so common, which is why it's really important for us to like have discussions about what is it to be masculine, what is it to be feminine, and like how can we be versions of those things that like we can teach our children so that they don't get stuck in situations where they're being abused for 6 years. Like,
Yeah.
it's sad. It's really sad.
If I called one of your best friends and asked what Pearl's biggest red flag, what would they say?
My biggest red flag.
Can we actually do that?
Call one of my best friends
Do you
and
think
ask?
she would answer?
I mean, yeah. I don't know what she would say, honestly. Probably my sister. She like knows me. She's known me the longest, you know. Biggest red flag. I don't know if it would be a red flag, but I think that I can be like too serious sometimes. I think she would probably be like, she's just all up in her head, like thinking about stuff, and she just needs to relax, you know?
When was the last time you went on a date?
On a date? When was it? Like a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Is that like common for you to not go on many dates?
Yeah, no, not recently. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really been. I mean, I'm open to it. Like I'm open. But yeah, at the same time, I'm not. I'm open.
Wait, I get exactly what you're saying though.
Yeah, I'm open to something very specific, and I'm also not gonna force anything. Like, I don't know. I'm just like, I feel like it'll come to me when it's supposed to.
Do you feel like little things give you the ick?
Like what? You have what is it for you?
I don't know. Okay, so one thing recently, I need somebody that's got like banter. Like I need somebody that can like keep it going. Like if I forget something to say, like you're quick-witted. Like I love that. So dry conversation, ick, every time. I can't do it. If I'm holding the entire conversation and I have to carry it, I can't do that. It's so exhausting.
Like boring guys. You don't like boring guys.
I can't do it.
That's not that crazy even.
That's not that
I've
crazy.
heard way crazier icks.
Like I would prefer a goofball. Like I would prefer you embarrass me rather than bore me.
Interesting.
I'm a weirdo.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to.
Yes?
Go in, Mo. Go in.
Jesus
What's
Christ.
on your mind?
I think that comes from a lack of maturity. You're uncomfortable with silence.
I don't
Her
think I
lack of
agree with
maturity?
that.
Oh.
I don't think I'm uncomfortable with silence. I think I can be in a silent room if I absolutely need to, but as I've explained with everything that I've been through, I feel like I've lost a majority of my 20s. Like that was like 6 years. I want to enjoy every ounce of life I can. So I would rather like enjoy jokes, banter, stories, like us experiencing something together, listening to music, watching a movie. Like as much as like silence can be enjoyable, I find so much enjoyment in sounds. Like I just even I just even love people's voices.
That's cute.
Like I don't know. Like I've just always been that person.
So I tend to date women who talk more than I do. I don't talk a lot.
You like to listen.
I like to listen. And through listening, I can understand and read and just, and that's the thing. Like I don't have to talk a lot. Whereas if I understand you enough, then anything that I do would be you not having to say anything and me just doing it.
They always say the wisest man in the room is the quietest. So yes, in theory.
But
Don't bump his ego up too
No,
much.
but I mean it is true
Wisest.
because
I don't know about that.
in
There-
theory
there
it's
isn't-
you're
there isn't
consistently
eno-
taking in information, you're consistently observing. So it's in that theory, not necessarily that you can't talk and talking makes you stupid, but in that sense.
Sure, exactly. But the point I'm trying to make is that if a person who is so within this assumption, right? You like somebody that you have this banter going on with, and you want to have these conversations, and you want the person to, conversate back with you and be able to hold a conversation. And I think there's a difference between somebody who just outbursts like random words and just like says shit, that anything that comes into his mind, as opposed to somebody who could have deep conversations with you where you connect. Right. And so I'd be careful because that could be confusing. If you're only just picking people based upon the material of the conversation and what they're saying to you that you might find interesting, and you say, oh wow, this guy seems interesting as a result of what he's saying to me, as opposed to the depth of the conversation.
What I said earlier has nothing to do with whether or not I can have a conversation of depth or whether or not I want it. It was just saying that I enjoy banter, and you were talking about like preferring like somebody being quiet. So it's not about depth of conversation.
I don't prefer somebody who is quiet. I prefer somebody who has deep conversation, who's capable of having deep conversations. We're talking about men being quiet, though. Right.
Yeah, but also like, I mean, you can only have deep conversations so much. It's not like every time like you're at dinner like, so yes, what do you think about the ancient Greeks? Like you know what I mean? Sometimes you just gotta like talk about funny shit.
Is that a deep conversation for you?
I don't know.
It is a deep conversation for him. Yes.
You think a deep conversation is?
Mo does the deep conversation
so
topic.
funny.
I do the funny shit. Yeah.
I feel like
Dynamic
between the two
duo.
of you, like Mo has most of the serious conversations. You have a high balance of like serious and very funny conversations. You can find something funny in like literally everything, but I feel like you're serious a majority of the time.
I am serious majority of the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I feel like, I don't know if you think the same way, but like that's what I look for in other people.
I'm kind of like you, where like I want the date to be fun, or
Yes.
like if I'm hanging with a girl, but like I think it's usually more like the guy's responsibility to make it fun.
Yeah.
Like usually if I'm on a date with a girl, like it's really fun, but like I'm kind of carrying the team, you know what I mean? And that's fine because like I don't mind carrying the team as the guy, but like it's like I don't want to just sit there and like, yeah, so tell me about the meaning of life. What is your happiness? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, let's talk about fun shit. Like, yeah, we can talk about deep shit every so often. Like, we have a glass of wine, and like sometimes when I have wine, it like makes my emotions work. You know what I mean? And then I can like talk about deep shit. You know what I mean? Which is why I usually avoid wine, because it gets me in trouble.
We need a bottle.
That's so
We need to
funny
share a
that you
bottle.
say that the man usually carries the date, because the last date that I was on, literally the waiter was like having a banter with me and was like, you should be a stand-up comedian. And then my date was like, so I feel like I normally carry the date and I just need somebody to match the energy.
Yeah, but this new breed of dudes is built different. I'm dead serious. This new breed of dudes, like all the Gen Z guys with a little TikTok hair, they have like no headboard on their bed. They have beds that touch 2 walls. Have you ever met a guy? His bed touches 2 of the walls. It's like, if you never heard of a nightstand, like Jesus Christ, like grow up. You know what I mean? One girl said this guy was like he like wanted coffee, so he like made coffee and he had it in a cereal bowl because he like didn't do the dishes that week, so he's fucking drinking coffee out of a cereal. I'm like, who are these dudes? Like, where was your dad? Like, I don't know. It's like I don't even blame. Like, I feel sorry for girls nowadays. Like, I think it's like hard to find a dude that's like, I don't know, has basic like human skills, you know?
Yeah. One of my favorite things is when have you seen girls doing the bathroom reviews? Like, girls will like go back to a guy's house and take a video of the bathroom.
Yes, they're like, okay,
man.
Clean sink. I love that. Okay, what's in the cabinets?
3-in-1 shampoo.
Yeah, red flag.
Damn.
That's funny.
That is crazy. I don't know though. A lot of the girls that like, I don't usually go to their place, but a lot of times I do. It's kind of messy too, or like their car is messy or something. You know?
Yeah,
Some girls are really fucking messy.
Yeah, I
some
feel
girls
like
are
women
definitely
are
messy.
Drives me
yeah.
nuts.
All the makeup and shit. Oh yeah.
We just have a lot of shit.
Yeah,
like,
it can get
sometimes
messy
there's
quick.
not a place to put it.
Yeah.
Excuses. Fucking excuses.
It's really
There's-
not- yeah.
There's so many different compartments and fucking little things that you guys have that you could buy. My ex like bought all these things that just like, but that's what drove me nuts. It was like she would buy these things and still be messy. And I'm like, how do you manage not to use this properly? And just like this shit was just everywhere. I like fucking wanted to shoot myself in the head.
But I do understand that to some extent, because like, okay,
You understand this because you were fucking messy.
I'm not messy. Look at my room right now. There's like one.
I
sock in
cleaned
there.
it.
Okay, but here's the thing. Okay, imagine you're a girl, right? I didn't realize like until like I started dating girls like how much makeup.
How long ago
shit
was that, by the way?
Well, it was like pretty late in my career. Like until like I dated girls like early 20s, but it was like I used to be a very like nice guy simp boy, so I used to never get girls because girls hate nice guy simp guys. So then I turned into a fuck boy and I went through my villain era. And now
Leather
I'm like,
jacket era.
Yeah. Now I'm like a fuck man, you know. I'm kind of like I've outgrown the fuck boy stage, you know. And I'm like
Explain the difference between the two, please.
Fuck boys are like dudes that like fucking
No headboards.
no headboards.
Got you.
Take selfies, 6-pack in the mirror at LA Fitness. It's like go to Equinox like a real fuckboy, not fucking LA Fitness like a poor person. You know what I mean? Like, he's fucking amateur fuckboy. And by the way, people don't understand like how much time and effort and dedication it takes to be like a legitimate good fuckboy. You know, like when I was little, my mom said, "Hey, I don't care what you do in life. I just want you to do it to your maximum capability." So like when I was in my fuckboy phase, I was like, I want to be a maximum capability fuckboy, not one of these fucking whack ass fuckboys that they got growing up nowadays. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But like,
So ambitious.
yeah, you need like
He really
gonna
is.
do it.
Wow.
He really
a lot
is.
of phone plans.
Respect.
You know what I mean? A lot of phones. A lot like you got to remember which gaslighting you did over here and which one over here.
That's
You
a
know what I mean?
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Your Google Calendar must
Wow.
look crazy.
Google Calendar, you have to have a couple different calendars, you know. Apple
Damn.
Calendar, Google Calendar, like it's very difficult. But now I've grown out of that and I'm very shy and romantic again, so now I'm kind of like in the middle, you know.
Nice.
How's that working out for you?
I don't know, I'm just trying to find all of my soulmates, but
Yeah, what's your guys'
All of
dating?
them.
Gotta
What
collect
are
them
you
all.
guys?
All of
what's
them.
up?
You gotta collect them all.
Yeah, it's like Pokemon. Gotta catch 'em all. No, actually, I'm
Whatever's
actually
in
seen a girl right now.
distance.
What's up?
Whatever's in distance.
Yeah. Well, it's hard because it's like, as a guy, you need some level of like it is somewhat of a numbers game, right?
Yeah.
Like if you ask, like, I'm not gonna like say you guys, I don't know if you guys have or not, but almost every girl flakes on guys pretty consistently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or flakes on parties,
Pretty
on
fucking
guys, or
crazy.
whatever. Like,
Yeah.
Actually, Madi
Yeah.
flakes all the time too.
actually,
well,
I do
used
flake
to.
all the time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you suck a lot sometimes.
I was going through some things. You
Yeah.
can see them physically
Yeah,
on my
yeah.
body.
You know,
so.
I'll give you a pass for all the flaking you've done. I forgive you.
I'm back.
But the unfortunate thing is, as a guy, because of that, and it's not, by the way, this is most girls in LA, right? You have to play the numbers game. But then by playing the numbers game, you get really good at the numbers game, and then you end up just becoming a fuckboy off of circumstance. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even intentional. It's like an accidental, like, you fall into it.
Damn, that's so fucked. Because I feel like it's opposite for women. Like, I feel like I get really picky, and then I finally find one, and then it either works out or it doesn't, and then I do or don't have one. I've never, like, I tried the roster thing. I can't. Because I'm one of those people, I'm very forgetful. So if I ask, like, James if he has pets or not, and then I ask Kevin if
a
he
lot
has
to keep in
pets or
track.
not, I'm
It's
gonna
hard
fucking,
work.
You're like,
I'm,
how are
I'm
your
gonna,
cats? He's like, the fuck are you talking about?
literally, and then everything blows up. And then I watched the video where you were talking about that you sent flowers, and I was like, holy fuck, that's gonna happen to me.
Yeah, I could, yeah.
And like, this is so
And
unrealistic.
now that I put it out there on our giant, huge podcast, all the guys are gonna know about it. So it's gonna be game over.
That's funny because that clip went viral on TikTok.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the comments were just like fucking hilarious.
See, because
Just
like,
hilarious.
one of my irrational fears is like if I'm talking to two guys at the same time and then I end up pregnant and I don't know who the dad is. Like that would never happen to me because I'm not that girl, but like that's always in the back of my head. So that's why I'm like, I'm loyal to a fault. I can't.
And I think too, most girls just emotionally don't enjoy having a roster. I think
Yeah.
most girls like having one guy who they're in love with and supports all their needs and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Where I think guys are more wired to like, yeah, we're kind of like want more than one girl ideally. Obviously, like that's.
I
like,
mean, it's been like that since like the caveman days.
yeah.
Like,
I think there's a lot of truth to that for sure, just
Yeah.
like biologically.
mhm.
But
What's your Pearl? What's your love languages?
My love languages?
Uh-huh.
All of them.
Another girl said this yesterday. It's like it's ridiculous. Like, what do you mean?
What are your
Yeah.
preferences?
I would say that the ones that are like the most impactful that I would be like, you don't love me if I don't get them, probably words of affirmation and quality time.
Wait. Say that again.
Words of affirmation and quality time.
No, what you said before.
They're the ones that are like mean the most to me. Like if you don't give me a gift, I'm not like, you don't like, do you even love me? Like,
Okay, so that's the bottom.
I'm not questioning that, but like, do I want gifts? Yes, I want gifts. I want everything. Like I definitely need physical touch. Like I need it.
So is physical touch number 1?
No.
What is it, number 3?
Words of affirmation, quality time. What are the ones?
Quality
physical
time,
touch, gifts, and
words of affirmation.
acts
gifts,
of service.
Acts of service, yes.
I don't know. I think the last 3 kind of all tie. Like I want them all.
Acts of service, quality time,
And physical
words
touch.
of and physical.
Yeah, because like if you're like not touching me, like apart from like sex, like just like touching, like I like to be touched. I like PDA, like I think it's cute. Not like, crazy, but like I'm like, yes, touch me in public, hold my hand, touch me.
But are you sexual?
I'm a Scorpio, so yeah, Scorpio Mars, yeah.
Claudia says the same thing.
Yeah, he does.
So okay, so that's your receiving. What's your giving?
Whatever they need.
So yeah, but what do you naturally give? Whatever they need.
Probably the same, I think, because that's just like what I think love is like.
Okay,
so
so
I
it's
probably,
the same for you.
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Interesting.
Can you guys explain to me something about gifts?
sure.
So
Yes,
one time,
let's get in
for
this
a
conversation.
girl, for her birthday, I just got her money, and she got really pissed at me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, money is the ultimate gift of all time.
Right.
You can
Who
literally
just-
buy anything with money.
I get that
anything
logic.
you want. It's like the best gift. Like me and my buddy, for all our birthdays, we Venmo the same $20 back and forth every fucking year. We're just fucking.
That's actually
$20
the
back and
funniest
forth.
shit I've ever heard of.
It's great. It's great.
That's so
You can use
good.
it for anything you want. Like I don't understand
That's really funny.
why girls don't want money.
Okay. I mean, I think that the reason that gifts is a love language isn't because usually people are like materialistic or they want a bunch of stuff. People might be materialistic and want a bunch of stuff. But the gifts that I find to mean love are the ones that say I know you. So
it's like
I
the
was
thought that counts.
Yeah.
it's not the I mean it's the knowledge of the other person that counts. Cuz you didn't know your girl in that moment. You for some other girl she'd be like,
But I thought
Bomb,
about getting her
money.
a gift. But then you gotta like drive to the store and like, well, what's
Okay,
her
let me
size?
explain
Yeah.
something to you so you can understand. Michaela used to get pissed if I didn't know what her coffee order was and what food she wanted to Postmate.
Really?
She would get pissed off. She'd be like, "You don't even know me. You don't love me. What? You don't pay attention to me. What the fuck is this? We can't be together anymore." And it'd be like, I don't drink coffee. Like I just, you've ordered coffee. Like you've told me what coffee order you wanted like once, like 2 years ago.
And Starbucks, the orders are so fucking confusing. Have you guys ever been to the Starbucks place? Venti mocha latte.
Yeah.
I'm like, what size? I'm like, medium. They're like, we don't have medium. It's either grande, venti, or mocha. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, they just make shit up. It's very difficult.
No, I swear, like on my notes app, I have to write down people's coffee orders because I am not good at that.
Yeah, it's confusing.
But the point is that women care about this knowing thing. You have to, like, they have to feel like you know them.
Interesting.
You know? And well, in your case,
You
you
have
don't
to
have
know
really
that
good
you're
memory, so-
listening and that you're paying attention. and
Yes,
that you're
but
being
I'm always
receptive.
listening and paying attention. But there is information that, and that's how it is. It's like if there is something that I don't care about for myself, I normally any normal person also wouldn't care about for other people. So it's like if you don't specifically say that I care about this, then assuming that the person should care about it. And then
Okay.
all of a sudden get mad about the fact that they didn't care about it because you didn't tell them that you care about it.
Okay. I don't know if you're going to agree with this, but I'm going to explain something in like the same vicinity that I thought was attractive. So I was talking to this guy at the time. We were hanging out. We're listening to music. This song comes on. It's a song from the Beatles. And I was just like, oh my God, I love this song. This is amazing. Like it reminds me of like blah, blah, blah. Like I go into like a nostalgia thing, whatever. Months later, we meet up and see each other, literally like 6 months later. And I don't remember what we were doing, but then he plays the song for me. And in that moment, but like he told me like, oh, like we should listen to this. And then like had like that in a playlist of like songs that I liked. So little things like that, I was like, oh, he paid attention. Like that was just, I had mentioned that one time just while we were together. I had never sent it in a text, never again talked about. But it was like that little thing that he paid attention to and then brought it up later. That was attractive to me.
Hot.
Okay,
It's
thank you.
it's great and all, but you have to recognize is that there are two different types of people. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he either did it on purpose to specifically remember it, or he also cared about it, and that's why he remembered it. The reality of it is, you go through day-to-day activities,
Mm-hmm.
and if I asked you what you did today, the only things that you would be able to recall are the most significant moments that in your memory actually had a place to stay.
Mm-hmm.
And but somebody else could go through the same exact day, and what they would recall would be completely different.
Yes, but I think most women are going to see it as like they want to have the same important things as their partner. So something that's important to her should also be important
Sure,
to you.
absolutely, 100%. But I think putting so much value in that area is not realistic, just because people are different, and that's just the reality of how we are as people.
Oh, absolutely. Like, no diss to this girl, but in me particularly, I wouldn't expect somebody to like have all of the details of my order and like have expectations like that. I'm just saying if those things do happen, I'm very attracted to those little details being brought up, but I'm not expecting those things.
No, for sure, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Like there was this one time. So this is what happened with my ex, where she needed to go to CVS.
Mm-hmm.
So I park, and then she goes inside. She comes back, and she brings me Snickers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like told her that like I really liked them.
Yeah.
And so she brought one. She gave it to me, and that was the moment. I tell her this. I used to tell her that like this is the moment that I fell in love with you.
Yeah.
And it's to me.
How cute. Mm-hmm.
And I know what you're thinking. There's a massive difference. When I saw her, the first time I saw her is when I thought to myself that I'm going to marry this girl. They're two different feelings. But
Whoa.
the point I'm trying to make is this: that those and she would ask me. She would say, "Hey, why was that such a significant moment for you?"
Mm-hmm.
You know. And to me, it was so significant because nobody had ever like cared about me the
Yeah.
way that like. That made me feel like she cared about me.
Yeah. And it
You
was
know?
like such a small thing, but it had an impact on you.
Right.
because
But
it
the
showed
point
she
I'm
cared.
trying to make is that if she didn't do it, right, it wouldn't have made me feel like that she doesn't care about me, or that, you know, those feelings were there, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It just, it manifested itself as a result of an action that she took that was significant to me at that very moment as a result of my past.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think in general we do end up giving a lot of value to certain things that might not matter as much, and then we end relationships as a result of feeling like some things that should have had a lot of value don't, because of the way that we care about them, not the way that we should care about them. Does that make sense?
So are you saying that we shouldn't find enjoyment in those moments, or what is your end
No,
point?
I'm not saying you should find enjoyment in anything and everything.
Yeah. So what is
Putting
it-
a lot of value on it, as if so if you said, for example, and I'm not sure if you said this or not, I can't recall, but if you said that like, oh, if a guy who didn't remember, you know, X, Y, and Z would be somebody that it's like a red flag. Like if he doesn't remember it, then it would be a red flag.
No, like I wouldn't have expected him to remember that, but the fact that he did and remembered that it was important enough to play it for me at a specific time, like I thought that had significance. But I
Right.
wouldn't have ever gone up to him and be like, "Oh, like why do you not know that I like this song?" Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what his girlfriend was doing, though, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
But
Sorry.
but the way
No,
I guess
yeah.
what I thought you were saying in the beginning was that other men who haven't done it were not compatible with you because they weren't that way. I guess that's what I thought you were saying.
Were you saying that?
I mean, I appreciate someone's willingness to do those things when they have time and are available to do those things, and also have learned enough about me to get to that point. So I wouldn't have those expectations for like somebody I just met or something like that. That's something.
So it's
that
not
would
so
be,
much of an expectation; it's more of an appreciation.
Yes,
Got
exactly.
it. Got it. Okay, that we agree on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that women could do a better job about communicating their needs. Like,
Oh, 100%.
oh, do you agree?
1,000%.
Wow, how shocking. But I think like in that situation though, like I feel like what I kind of hear you saying is kind of invalidating the fact that she was so emotional about it. I personally don't think that her experience of feeling that way is wrong, but I think what she could have done to get a better result is when she did feel like that, tell you in like a cuter way, not like getting mad at you for not doing it. But like if something like that happened to me, I'd probably be like, okay, how do I get what I want, which is you to remember my coffee order? So I'd probably be like, babe, like, you know what I find really hot? Like it really turns me on when you like remember stuff about me, like my coffee order. Like it like really just, it just does something to me. You know what I mean? If I did that, you'd be like, oh shit, right? You'd want to do it, right? So I feel like women need to know how to be like persuasive basically, instead of like, but the emotion,
combative.
the emotion is still valid. It's just like, how do we get what we want basically?
I completely agree with that.
Yeah. And I think that's what being in your feminine is. You know what I'm saying? Being in your masculine is being like, why are you doing this for me? Da 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 da. You know? So
I feel like in the same point, do you want to comment on that? Because I was about to change the topic.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, I feel like everybody says they don't like games, but I'm like, nah, everybody likes games. Cause that shit would have worked on me. Like if you did that to me, I would have been like, oh damn, yeah, like I'm definitely gonna remember this shit. You know what I mean? Like that shit would definitely work. But everybody says they don't like games. But I'm like, nah.
it's not a game though.
That's not a game. Wait, they're
That's
already
a game. You're
No, it
manipulating
isn't.
the guy to remember something by acting like it turns you on.
No.
Which isn't a bad thing, by the way.
It
I don't
does
think it's a
turn.
bad
It
thing.
would turn her on though. She would be like, "Oh my god, my pussy's so wet." He remembered my coffee order.
Man,
it would turn
you
her
guys
on.
you fell in love from a Snickers bar. Your pussy gets wet from a fucking Starbucks order. Like,
It's not the thing.
Y'all are great. Y'all are
It's
crazy.
someone wanting to please you. You know
You
what
like
I mean?
the Beatles, which is the craziest part of the whole thing. The Beatles, I keep hearing the Beatles, the greatest band of all time. I was like, let me check out the greatest band of all time. Beatles song. You know the first one popped up?
Now and then.
Yellow Submarine, Yellow Submarine. I was like, oh, I got the wrong band. It must be a spoof. It must be a spoof. Let me search it again. Yellow Submarine. I was like,
funny.
this is the real song that the greatest band of all time played.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's children's music. It's children's music.
No, it really is because that's the funniest
Okay,
shit.
so specifically that specific song, to get into it for a second, I had a children's piano that was like this big, and it had pre-made songs on it, and that was one of the songs that was on there. So it would play the song, and then it had like a little thing that would teach you like how to play along with it. So it was really a nostalgia thing, like from my childhood, like genuine children's music.
Yeah.
So
That-
yes, it is children music.
Yes, confirmed.
What like the lyrics are just so like one of the lyrics is literally, I got feet down below my knees. That's the lyric. That's a real lyric in a real Beatles song. I think people just it's so crazy to me. Like people always say greatest band of all time, but I've never like been in the car and like, oh, what should we listen to? Oh yeah, man, turn on the Beatles. Like I've never heard a single person in my life, even old people I don't hear say that. They're like, yeah, turn on some AC/DC or like, you know, something like that.
Have you ever read Christian rock lyrics? Like they're very similar.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're probably just, just as cringe. Yeah.
Well, he moved out of Wisconsin a while ago, so
Yeah. No, I grew up very like religious though. Like my parents and everything were like really religious. So
So the topic I was going to change to is talking about, okay, so we were talking about women communicating their feelings, but I really want to know why it's so hard for men to communicate what they want from a woman. Like even when I have conversations like that with men where it's like, do you want something serious? Do you want something not so serious? Like I'm cool with either, but like let me know what you're into. And they're like, oh yeah, like I'm open for something serious. And then it ends up like not going that direction, or they ghost, or like they're saying like, oh no, I didn't mean that. Like I feel like I'm seeing a lot of that. So
Well, they're
I'm
just
just
straight up
curious.
lying. There's a difference. That's not them not communicating. That's them trying to keep you around for as long as they need you.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they're done, they ghost or whatever the fuck it is they do. But in reality, they're just not being honest. That's really what it is. It's not a lack of communication. It's just not giving a fuck.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, like it is.
Basically, the how guys kind of work the game, right? Is
Oh, please explain.
not
I'm ready.
not me, of course, but like other
Everyone
guys.
Retired
for
fuckboy.
sure.
All the other guys.
Retired
yeah,
fuckboy
not me and
explains.
Mo. So basically, you want to get girls that you're kind of talking to, right? And then if you're hooking up, great, now we can hook up. But obviously, once you say, oh, now we're exclusive, blah, 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 like now you can't talk to the other girls. So you have to get rid of all your other girls, which puts you at risk because now one girl can wake up one morning, right, spin around 3 times and say, we don't have the connection anymore and dump you, right? And then you're down to 0 girls and now you're a loser again,
Oh my
you know?
god,
So then,
how awful to be alone like that.
I know, it is. It's
Yeah,
traumatizing.
no, I get it. You have to have someone lined up immediately so that you're not with your own thoughts.
We need a
Yeah, you might be right, actually. That probably is actually the reason. But nobody's ever said it to me like that.
Who's scared of silence? I don't remember who that was.
No, that
dead.
was Mo. That was
I'm
Mo.
dead.
That was
You're
saying,
calling out the wrong person.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm terrible with silence. We've actually talked about it before. I actually am really bad with silence, yeah. But that's probably my own deep-rooted subconscious need for acceptance to
Zach
fill
gets
an
very
inner void.
awkward during silent moments.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Like we're having a conversation and there'd be moments where he's just like there's like nothing, nobody's saying anything, and I could see him in his brain searching
Panicking.
for something or otherwise walk away as fast as he possibly can.
Yeah, I'm awkward with shit like that. I don't know.
Ooh, I have a good question for everybody. Okay. So there's 2 different types of people. I'm apparently like the more rare kind, so this is why I want to know. But do you have a voice in your head all the time, or is it like silent?
I definitely have a voice.
Yeah, I got
Like you
a voice,
constantly
too.
hear something?
Yeah, I feel like I got a voice.
Is yours silent? Do you hear something?
Can you elaborate on what this voice is supposed to sound like?
Like either your inner voice, there's music playing, like there's something going on in your head at
Like
all times.
thoughts.
Your
Yeah.
brain?
Like thinking.
My brain is working, yes.
Mo, come on. You know what I'm asking.
He has voices in his head, too.
I talk to myself all the time. Out loud.
So not out
And
loud.
within, no, of course.
Okay,
but
within.
also
Sounds like
out loud.
yes. Do
Yes.
you have an empty brain?
Yes. No, I don't.
an
I
empty
don't know how to.
brain?
I don't know how to describe this to
I don't
people. But like,
believe you.
even while
This
I'm
is what
talking, I
okay.
can't hear my own thoughts.
This is
that's
there's a thing that I do. Okay.
Yeah.
Any time that I'm dating someone, I would so if we're sitting down and I'd be like, what did you just think about? Okay. And most of the time as a result of something that I see visually, but sometimes there's a moment where somebody would say, oh, nothing. I wasn't thinking about anything.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no such a thing. You're always thinking about something. There's always something. There is a difference of being able to recognize what it is and not being able to recognize what it is. Because sometimes there are multiple thoughts that go through your head and you just don't recognize that you're thinking about them. Because the way that some people, when they say, oh, no, I wasn't thinking about something, it's like you space out.
Mm-hmm.
But through spacing out, you're thinking about something. But once you come out of it, you don't know what you were thinking about.
But then how do you know that you were even thinking about something in the first? It's like people tell me, like one time someone was like, oh, did you have a dream last night? And I was like, I almost never dream. And they're like, no, you dream every night. You just don't know that you do.
You just don't remember it.
I'm like, bitch,
Yeah.
how do you know if I dream every night?
Do you want to know if you dream every night or not?
I don't.
Record your. No, I'm telling you. Do you want to know?
Record my
Record
brain?
yourself sleep. No. Well, that too, if you want to. But you could record yourself. The easier way to do it is record yourself sleep.
How would I know if I'm dreaming?
Your eyes.
Your eyes move.
That doesn't mean I'm dreaming. That means my eyes are moving.
Okay. Scientifically, it means that you're dreaming.
They don't know. Okay, see, people see one TikTok video on this. They think they're an expert. You can't, just because your eyes are moving doesn't mean you can't put a video camera into someone's brain and see what they're dreaming about.
Yeah, do you think like dreams are supposed to be what exactly? I'm so confused. What do you think dreams are?
What do you mean you dream something?
Yeah, but what do you think dream is?
It's just like you making up a story in your head.
Well, like a projector in the back of your mind, like showing a movie or something. I don't understand.
Well, obviously no.
They're thoughts. I mean, that's what they are.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So your brain is working.
Yeah, just because your brain is. I just think that's bullshit. I still think it's bullshit.
It's not going to make
such a good
too
clip.
But what were you talking about?
Somebody got to edit the little like alphabet numbers.
Yeah. For sure.
The formula, the
Yeah.
math equations.
I actually,
funny.
so I saw that you posted a couple of clips that you were on whatever podcast. How was that experience like?
Pass.
It was whatever, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to pass on that question. I'll talk about it, but I kind of want to talk about it on my own so I can control the narrative.
You can control this narrative.
Thank you, though.
So I can control the narrative. That's funny. That's a funny way of saying it, actually. Huh. Interesting. What do you mean by controlling the narrative?
I mean, I just want to pick how I say things, and I want to make sure I'm saying things the way that I want to say them.
Got it. You want to be able to.
You don't want them to be able to put you in like a fake bad light. You want to put yourself in a fake good light.
I want to put myself in my own light. Yes. Yes.
So you're worried you might say something that you shouldn't be saying.
Because you can say things in different ways that are both factually accurate, but that represent a different truth. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Things can be taken in different ways, and I want to make sure that
You leave no room for
I am perceived.
misinterpretation.
I mean, there will always be room for misinterpretation, but to just, yeah. Well, I'd like to control the narrative.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
You used to do Twitch, yeah? Did you ever have narratives go good or bad for you on Twitch? Was there a lot of were you in the drama circles on Twitch that, they start drama to get views and stuff?
I think at the point that I finally got physically around other streamers was the time that I went into production. And so at that point, I was not a face where people were combating, but more of where I privately knew everybody else's drama that went on. And then that's kind of what made me kind of step back from Twitch, because at that point I had noticed everybody else's baggage. And I was just I don't want to be associating with this type of people because it's not what I am.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this, because you've been in the Twitch world. All the little beefs and the stuff they have, is it A, we just want views, we're going to manufacture some beef? Is it B, they actually hate each other and then they start beef because they hate each other? Or is it C, they already kind of don't like the person, but it's not that big of a deal, but then they amplify it to get the beef out? You know what I mean?
I have seen all three from the same person.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Who's the person? What does his name rhyme with? Does it rhyme with Rogan Rawl?
No, Logan doesn't do streaming.
I've been on a lot of streams with him in the past. I've been very
with
close.
Logan Paul or with this?
No,
other guy?
I've never done anything with Logan Paul.
Okay.
Wait, what's his name? God damn it, I can't remember his name now.
Whose name?
The person she's talking about.
Oh, you know who it is?
Yeah. I just can't remember his name.
I mean,
what does his name rhyme with?
Oh, it honestly, it doesn't matter. I'll probably give you, I'll give you a better story. Let's fuck it. I didn't sign an NDA when I went to the house, so I can talk about this, whatever. So when I was doing Twitch production, one of the times I was working with Aiden Ross through another person, so indirectly. And this was last year for TwitchCon. Me and a friend were in San Diego, and Aiden wanted to film kind of like an IRL e-date with girls, like a speed dating kind of thing. And so he hit up my partner at the time and was like, hey, I'm looking for girls. He reached out to me, and then I set him up with some of my friends. And one of my friends that he really wanted to come out specifically, she was very shy. And so she was like, I don't want to go unless you go. And so I was like, I normally don't go to these things, but I'll go with you because we were in San Diego and they wanted us to drive all the way back from San Diego to LA specifically for this. And then they would take us back. So long story short, we make the arrangements. We get all the girls there. These girls think it's going to be like an environment like this where we're sitting down warm in a room. And so these girls are wearing like very revealing clothing because that was like the thing on Twitch at the time. Like you wear either like a sports bra, a little crop top, mini skirt, whatever, like just something to like look cute, accentuate the body, go off, whatever, but not clothes prepped for. This was October in LA. It's not super cold, but like 60-degree weather at night. So these girls were not prepped for that. And we get there. He's not even there. We get introduced to like the bodyguard and like whoever's like in the house and stuff. They're super chill, super inviting, amazing people. He gets started on streaming, doesn't introduce himself to anyone. All the girls get kicked out. We don't know that we have to wait outside this entire time until they go one by one into this room. And every girl that goes into the room, he asks them to do something to kind of like make them... it's just degrading in a way to put it. Either things like doing a little shimmy, a little shake to shake the girls in a revealing top, stuff like that. And I don't know what exclusively happened, but something happened to get him banned. And he got pissed, shut down the stream, and kicked everybody out without even saying thank you for coming. Obviously, we took a large drive in, and then we all had to go back. We weren't compensated for that or like even thanked for our time. So it was a very negative experience on my and the girls' part, especially since I invited a majority of the people out there.
You used to work at a, I don't know if you signed an NDA for this one, but you used to work at a streaming house. Is that what, like, is that what it was? Or what was it, content house or something? What was it?
Not really. It was a guy's house that like he has a podcast studio and like he runs his stream out of it. And he invites people to stay with him sometimes like while they do the podcast or whatever. It's not necessarily like a content house because it's really only him making the content, but he likes to like meet new people and like invite them out. Like that's how I came out to LA. Right. I was streaming myself. He invited me out for the podcast. I came out. I met other people, obviously you guys, and then now I'm here.
So, but you don't do that anymore?
No.
Why?
It got to a point where I knew what I was worth creating, but I couldn't find somebody that matched the same energy. A lot of the streamers that I pitched ideas to, basically I would want to make it completely structured where it was almost like live reality TV is basically what I was trying to recreate. And I'm fine sharing that idea because obviously it's not something I can pursue now. But trying to find somebody that would be willing to sit down and like actually create that structure. I needed somebody to be the face. Like I had the idea, I was willing to do all of the production, but I didn't have somebody who was willing to take on that structure and actually be that disciplined. So I kind of just like gave up on the idea because I couldn't find somebody that was willing to do that and also like see my worth. And like honestly, I just wasn't getting paid my worth anytime I was doing jobs too. I just like felt like I wasn't being respected and like I knew what my capabilities were, but they weren't being reciprocated.
Got it. And why did you stop streaming?
Because I really, at that point, I was planning podcasts and doing the e-dates and stuff like that. And I was really enjoying like actually putting things together and like making the structure just like what I talked about. So I kind of wanted to put back being the face because honestly, something that put me off about that is a lot of my girlfriends, even smaller streamers, like just being a woman online in general, it puts you at risk for like stalkers, for instance, like just safety issues. And after things that I've been through, I just don't ever want to get to that point. So I would rather be kind of like behind the curtain.
Understandable. You like the production side more than you do the being a face of creating content side. Yeah.
It keeps me out of drama too.
Sure. Awesome stuff. Final question. Is the green bubble a red flag?
Is the green bubble a red flag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you say yeah?
It gives
as
like
in,
burner phone energy.
It does. Scammer energy. Right?
It gives, I'm Zach and I got 2 phones,
That's so funny.
but I couldn't afford 2 iPhones.
but I mean, you do know that Samsungs are more expensive than iPhones, yes?
Yeah, no, I also know that you'll have better camera quality, whatever. You have better
that's fake
options,
news. Yeah,
whatever.
that's fake news.
Better
But-
technology, just yeah.
Don't let Mo create a narrative that's gonna trick you. Okay.
Mo, I can't FaceTime you.
You could.
You can?
Yeah, I mean there are apps.
You can
just
Android-
download
you can
it
Android
like a
time.
normal
I'm
person.
gonna
Yeah.
download a third-party app just for you.
You
'cause
already
you're my-
have it in your
It's a
phone.
lot of commitment.
Mo's like, look, Zoom.
You already
Send me a
have
Zoom
multiple
link.
apps that you could do that with. It's called Instagram, WhatsApp, fucking what's this? Telegram, fucking.
Mo, nobody cares about your third world apps. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just
I wanna
saying, you
FaceTime
already
each
have
other,
it.
okay?
Like Instagram, for instance, is not near as responsive as FaceTime.
Yeah.
It is very responsive.
And they don't have as
Call
good
me
of-
after this. I'll
They don't
pick
have
it
as
up in
good
2
of
seconds.
filters. The filters are better on FaceTime, bro.
Oh my god, the little like Animoji things. Like,
Yeah.
I love picking up the phone and I'm just like a random character.
Yeah. Mo just puts his face on like a fucking noob. It's just his face talking to you. There's no character.
I remember this one time I was talking to a guy and I'm never the person to call, but I found out that they had these and I was super excited. And I called this guy and I was like, oh my god, he's gonna think this is so funny because like that's the kind of people I'm attracted to. He literally answered the phone, said, who the fuck is this, and hung up.
That's funny. He didn't have your number saved?
Shit.
Well, it is sketch because maybe he thinks you're a catfish too. He might think what are you trying to hide, you know?
Mm-hmm. I
That's
am.
hilarious. Okay, so red flag, won't date a guy who has an Android. Pearl, what about you? You said no, so don't get tricked by this bullshit.
Is this a serious question?
It is. So we've been doing a survey, and I'll
Yeah,
tell you
yeah.
why. We have this friend.
Well, Mo changed the question. But yeah, go ahead.
I didn't fucking change the question. You just don't like the question anymore because I've been winning.
So Mo tries to frame it like you would never date a guy with an Android, which the original question was just like, yeah, like is it like a negative?
Is it a red flag? Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer if it's Apple. Yeah.
There you go.
I
There
do.
you go.
But I
Good
mean,
for me.
I don't care though.
No, that's not
If
what
you have
she's saying.
if you have a Samsung though, if it's green, I don't really think any type of way. But yeah, I prefer it to be Apple. Yeah.
So it is a red flag.
A red flag sounds really intense to me.
He tries to make it sound more intense. to
That's
get more
been
points
the
for himself,
question
yeah.
all along.
He
It's
tries to
literally
get
the
more points for
question.
himself, yeah.
Is it a red flag? Would you not date a guy?
No, that's not what
Of
a
course
red flag.
No.
Red
course
flag
not.
means I'm
Okay.
waving the flag. Oh shit, watch out, but maybe it's okay. It's just a flag.
Your pants will go on fire if you're lying. Do you not remember this whole conversation started because Claudio started going around saying that people who have Androids don't get as much pussy as the ones who have an iPhone. Was that not what he said?
He probably
And then
did say
you
that.
all fucking went around
roasting
and
you.
were like, yeah, that's true. And I was like, no, it fucking isn't.
Honestly, it might be true.
Okay, it's not even like mentally, it's for whatever reason, subconsciously it's a thing. Like I don't even think about that, but for whatever reason it's more satisfying. Like I was just thinking about it as you were saying it, and I was like, if I were to go out to a club and I was drunk, I got 2 guys, different numbers, I don't remember who's who, they both text me in the morning, one's green, one's blue, more likely to text the blue one.
There you
It's
go.
true.
There
It's
you go.
true.
That's just basic math. It's basic math at this point.
This
yeah.
has nothing to do with the people. All this means is that Apple is absolutely genius and they have a chokehold on all of us. That's what it means.
It means that
And I
you
like
guys
being
are
choked.
brainwashed. Is that what that is? That what it
Yes.
means?
No,
So,
it means society is brainwashed, and because of that, we use what we know about our society to our advantage. Where you are stuck with your head in the sand, pretending like it doesn't exist.
I have no problem getting pussy, bro.
Well, I know.
So
I know you don't.
You'd
So-
get
so
more
then- so
though
then
if you had
I
an
don't-
Apple.
You would get even more. Yeah, you'd get even more.
An Apple
bro.
ad?
I don't think there is enough time in a day. However,
You really, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
see, you say that you use this psychology, but see, I use the psychology too, because the reality of it is that if a girl wants to reject me as a result of my phone, I don't even want her to begin with.
It's actually great.
No, but that's
it's
kind of
great.
cap though.
No, it's not.
Because
That's great.
But you could say that. You could literally say that about anything. Oh, I'm not gonna fucking wear nice clothes. I'm just gonna wear sweatpants and a t-shirt. Oh, it's your brother's wedding. I'm just gonna wear sweatpants. Hey, if she doesn't like me because I wear sweatpants and a t-shirt,
You know what's
not the
funny?
one for me.
You know what's funny? When I was in high school, I used to walk from home to school with my friend. It was close enough. Well, I actually don't even know if it was close enough, but it was far. But so we used to walk, and I used to dress very down. I used to wear this pants that was like ripped and fucked up because I used to play football in school, and my friend would be like, "Yo," like one day he was like, "Yeah, I don't want to walk to school with you anymore." And I'd be like, "Why?" He'd be like, "Cause like every time we like pass by these girls that are like walking by, and it's like I can't holla because like I'm like walking next to you looking like a homeless person." And I was like, "I don't give a fuck, bro. If these girls don't want me because of my pants, then you know what? Fuck them." So I don't know. That mentality has been within me all along.
Wow.
Yeah.
Strong.
Yeah.
Opinion.
But like, I feel like that's slightly toxic to think about because I used to think like that. Like, I used to be the type of girl that I was like, I'm not going to put effort into a first date. Like, I'll just kind of like wear a casual outfit and like just go about it, whatever, and not put effort in because it's just like, if you don't like me for me, then whatever. And not an effort in the sense of like personality, just like I'm not.
Well, I wasn't going on a date. I was going to school.
I mean,
I
but,
agree
like,
with you. Like, if I'm going on a date, I'm not gonna wear some like ripped pants.
But why, Mo?
But
Or like
you're-
wear
but
like
you're-
workout clothes.
Only cares about you because of the pants you wear. That shouldn't be the type of girl you're going.
you were
for.
literally
here's-
just
here's
talking
the
about
difference.
dating. You were
But-
like,
but
if she
here's
doesn't want
the
to date me
difference.
because of these pants.
I agree with you, but that's the thing, though. I don't. See, the difference of mentality is here. I don't date people for them to accept me. I date them for me to accept them. And so the difference is, if I dress for myself. I don't dress for anybody else. The way that I look right now. You said that's cap? Is that what you said? How is that cap?
Okay, so would you wear a 3-piece suit and then go on your couch and watch Netflix by yourself? No, of course not, because nobody would see you. You just wear sweatpants and a fucking t-shirt.
But the assumption is that you think that like sitting on the couch with a suit is like comfortable.
I was just about to say, you're still dressing for yourself because you would dress comfortable because you personally would feel comfortable.
Yeah, so if you go on a date with a girl, why don't you dress in something that's comfortable like sweatpants and a t-shirt? The same thing you would watch Netflix by yourself in. Because you care what they think about
But that's not true.
And I'm not saying you care it's so much and it's the one thing you think about. I'm saying you do care. You do know that it makes a difference.
No. That's not how this works. If you go to the gym, you're gonna wear gym clothes. If you go to to bed, you're gonna wear whatever you wear to bed. If you're gonna go to the pool, you're gonna wear a swimsuit. If you go to a wedding, you wear stuff that you wear a suit and whatever that's proper for a wedding.
Yeah,
if
because
you go to,
that is societal standards, and you know that people are going to think it's weird if you're at a wedding in shorts.
but we've become wired to accept that
Yes.
as a society.
Yes.
So, but the difference is what we haven't become wired to accept is what one individual likes about me, and therefore me acting just like how that one individual wants me to act. That's what the difference is. We're not changing the whole concept to like now all of a sudden, why don't we go out and like fucking go to weddings now in like I don't know, swimsuit. Like that's not what we're talking about. Just because I want to be myself. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm going to go on a date looking like what I want to look like because I want that person to get to know me as me.
Yeah, because they know they're gonna think of you in a different way if you wear a different outfit.
I think
That's what
he's
I'm
saying that he doesn't dress for validation.
Exactly.
The next time you go on a date, would you let Zach pick out your outfit?
Yeah. Let's do this game.
But why? But what is the
To
purpose of this
prove your
practice?
point wrong. To prove you wrong.
How is
In
that
one
proving
fell
me wrong?
swoop. To destroy your entire argument.
How is that
That
proving
you
me
don't
wrong?
care about like what you would wear.
I'm gonna make you dress like a clown.
He
bro.
cares about what he wears.
I
Like,
care about it for myself.
Like what the other person would think about what he's wearing is like what we're trying to get at.
I mean, I think I think he would like to feel that the other person is like, I like that.
Yeah, of course.
But he's not going to change the way that he would dress as someone on a date to like specifically please that person or like get them to like him or something.
I think most people don't do that. Like I wouldn't specifically change myself for like a specific person to go on a date. I don't
Some
think
people
that's what
do. Some people
which
are
is
like,
crazy.
oh, he doesn't like red lipstick. I'm not going to wear red lipstick
Yeah.
even if I like it, which is fine. it's not a bad thing to do.
I used to wear this long trench coat to the club. Okay.
What?
And my business partners at the time would make fun of me and be like, bro, you look like fucking you just came out of the Matrix, like all this shit, right? And I wore this thing for years. For probably like I had like few different ones. And I wore it. I don't give a fuck. This is and anything, and that's the thing.
No, but that's
keep
cap
saying,
too. Because I've seen your trench coats. They're like cool looking trench coats.
No,
They're not like
the
oh,
ones
you look
that-
like a clown. Like
not the ones that you're talking about. This is before your time. This is before we knew each other.
Okay.
Ask CJ. He'll tell you.
I'll ask him.
This is so, and it'll prove you wrong.
So why don't you, wait? Why don't you still wear those trench coats? What happened, Mo?
My fashion changed. You don't think the
Mo,
first
your
time,
entire concept of fashion is based on what society has told you is cool.
No, it's
you
what-
don't fucking come out your mom's pussy thinking I like trench coats. The only way you like trench coats is because somewhere down the line, someone you looked up to or someone in a TV show or maybe your dad wore them, somebody that you thought was cool wore trench coats. So you thought, I want to be cool too, maybe subconsciously. So I want to wear trench coats because that's what cool people wear. How else would you want to wear a trench coat randomly, magically?
Based on that thought process, anything that you're attracted to in life will come from some place that you saw it. Yes.
Yes.
We didn't get out of our mother's vaginas knowing exactly what we're gonna wear 20 years later.
Correct.
What's the point of this conversation?
I don't know.
We've gone
got
so
derailed.
deep that we
Where are we
lost the
going
point.
here?
The point is everybody cares to some level what people think about them. People say you shouldn't care what people think about them.
Zach doesn't
which is
want to
crap.
accept that I don't give a fuck about other people's opinion and I don't
I
need
think
other
both
people's
things
validation.
can be true. I don't think you need validation. I also think that we are tribal beings who need acceptance from others. So yes, we do things to attract people that we can find tribes with. I think it's biological.
I
And
agree.
also, seems like you really don't give a fuck. Trench coat guy.
But he just doesn't want to accept that. That's the thing. That's the bottom line. He doesn't want to accept that I don't care about other people's validation. And
Then
opinion.
don't give a fuck about his validation.
I don't.
Mo.
Great.
What do you mean?
Oh, he's
Case
lying.
solved.
Every night he texts me,
Case
please,
solved."
Zach, please, give me your validation. I'll do anything. I'm begging you.
Please, sir.
Funny.
One validation, please.
One validation at a time. Thanks so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. You guys have been absolutely fantastic and incredible.
Thank you for having me.
Wow. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you for watching. We'll see you later.